Hi, I am Dilip Jeste, President of the American Psychiatric Association. I am happy to report that the DSM-5 is close to the finish line. It will be considered for approval by the APA's Board of Trustees in December, and it is slated for publication next year. The primary goal of DSM-5 is to be a scientifically based manual that is useful for clinicians and our patients. Why did we need DSM-5? Changes in diagnostic systems are inevitable because there is continuous progress in scientific knowledge. DSM-3 was published in 1980 under the leadership of Dr. Spitzer. DSM-4 was published in 1994 under the leadership of Dr. Francis. Both these versions represented the state of psychiatry at those times and advanced our field significantly. Since the publication of DSM-4, there has been a wealth of new research studies on mental illnesses. Therefore, it was thought appropriate for the APA to consider making necessary modifications in DSM based on new scientific evidence. There are, of course, challenges in revising a diagnostic system. For example, there are differences of opinion among experts. At present, most psychiatric disorders don't have validated biomarkers, and therefore psychiatric diagnoses are based predominantly on clinical assessment. Also, there are unintended consequences of psychiatric diagnosis because of social stigma and discrimination. Efforts to diagnose and treat patients in early stages of an illness can be criticized for increasing its prevalence and potentially expanding the market for pharmaceutical industry. However, I should stress that diagnosis does not mean a need for drug treatment. On the other hand, narrowing the criteria for a diagnosis may be blamed for excluding some patients from insurance coverage and needed services. APA has carefully tried to balance scientific evidence against risks of such unintended consequences. We do realize that despite our best effort, there will be some disagreements about several of the proposals. Hundreds of psychiatrists and other experts have spent thousands of hours pro bono working on DSM-5 over the past several years. A DSM-5 task force appointed by APA oversees the development of DSM-5. Dr. Kaffer is its chair and Dr. Ragier vice chair. There are also 13 diagnostic work groups which review the literature and public comments and propose criteria. Regarding industry-related conflicts of interest, the APA has instituted a strict policy that all the task force and work group members must have open disclosures. It also restricted their income from the industry. At present, 72% of these members have no financial relationship with the industry. The APA also has several review committees to obtain independent reviews of the diagnostic proposals. To obtain public comments, APA placed the drafts of the proposed criteria on its website. So far, more than 25,000 comments have been received and reviewed. The APA Board of Trustees will evaluate the proposals from the work groups as well as comments from the review committees and the public before making final decisions. We believe that DSM-5 will reflect our best scientific understanding of psychiatric disorders today. Our hope is that the DSM-5 will lead to more accurate diagnosis, better access to mental health services, and improved patient outcomes. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video.